Hey guys, introspection here, and I'm here to tell you about two evildoers that live in your bathroom and why you should kick them out. The first of which being flushable wipes. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, this guy's not sanitary at all. But hold on, I promise you I make sure my bum is clean. So then you might be thinking, okay, if you're so sanitary, then why are you telling me not to use flushable wipes? Well, here's the problem. If you continue to use flushable wipes, you might end up having to spend a very pretty penny. And I sincerely doubt, unless you're really passionate about sewage, you want to spend a pretty penny on plumbing. So, I'm here to give you the information you need so that you don't have to spend said pretty penny. Here is the problem with flushable wipes. If you've ever held one in your hand, you notice that it really doesn't come apart as easily as toilet paper. I mean, sure, it comes apart. Don't worry, I'm not that weak. I can tear apart flushable wipes. But if you compare it to toilet paper pretty much comes apart instantaneously in your hand when wet, as opposed to a flushable wipe where you actually have to tear it apart. So you might be thinking, well, surely it falls apart in the toilet, right? Well, no, not really. Even with the flushing, it doesn't come apart. So then you might be thinking, of course, well, it still goes down, right? I don't see the problem here. Well, there's actually a huge problem. Let me put it to you this way. Legos can go down the toilet. Rubber bands can go down the toilet. If it's small enough, a watch can go down the toilet. Basically, a lot of things can technically go down the toilet. But as you know, you do not want to flush these things down the toilet. It is bad for your plumbing because it's likely to cause major problems that you need to spend money on to fix. This is the same with flushable wipes. In fact, there have been entire communities who have had major problems, massive clogs in their entire sewer system, mainly composed of things like flushable wipes and other stuff that you really shouldn't be flushing down the toilet, because they do not come apart very easily. Toilet paper is designed to come apart. Flushable wipes do not. So if it gets clogged in your house, it can be a major hassle trying to get the whole thing fixed, because you gotta get somebody to find the clog, undo the plumbing, take out the clog, put it back in. If it's anywhere that you actually have to destroy wall or floor to get to, you need to have somebody destroy said wall or floor and then fix said wall or floor that you needed to break to get to it. So, point being that you really shouldn't be using these things. You're fine just using toilet paper. Just make sure that you wash your hands. But that does lead us to our next villain. A villain that hides in plain sight, on top of your sink, sitting there, thinking that it will clean you, sanitize you, but really it's there to cause you harm. It is soap. I'm kidding, please use soap. Please, for the love of all that is sanitary, use soap. But that does lead us to our next villain, antibacterial soap. Now, you might be thinking, but I want to kill the bacteria. They're what make me sick. I need them to not be alive anymore so that I don't get sick, right? Well, no, or at least not in the long term. The problem with antibiotics is, yes, they can kill the bacteria that's currently on your hands in theory, but as you may know, bacteria has a tendency to mutate, and mutate to adapt to whatever scenario it's in. You put it in acid, it's probably going to mutate to some form that can survive an acid. You put it in some sort of cleaning solution, same thing. It goes on and on and on. Especially with antibiotics. It can adapt to antibiotics very rapidly. This becomes a major problem, because if I am sick and I don't have an antibiotic that can fix me because the bacteria has adapted to the antibiotic that would usually be used, then there's a major problem. Now, this wouldn't be too much of a concern if we use antibiotics in preserve, but we don't. We use it like corn syrup. It's nuts how much we use it. It's in everything, and because we use it so much, bacteria has more and more chances to adapt to it. So the point being that in the long term, it's going to get to the point where the soap's not going to do anything. It might as well just be regular soap because bacteria is going to adapt to it and it's not going to do anything. And this is a major problem, like I mentioned before, because the more bacteria has a chance to adapt to antibiotics, the less likely it is that if you get sick with some sort of serious infection and you have some serious disease or whatever it could be that is a bacteria but can't be cured by antibiotics because that specific strain of bacteria has evolved past the point of antibiotics, then of course we have a serious problem. And of course you might be thinking, well, they can just make more antibiotics, right? Well, yeah, we can, but not as fast as they're mutating. They're mutating rapidly fast, and if antibiotics can't keep up with it, then we're going to be in a world of trouble. And we're heading that way as it is now. So, just for the sake of your own health and everybody else's health, just pick up standard soap that doesn't have antibacterial properties. Get just regular good soap. So long as you use good soap, doesn't have to be antibacterial, as I've just explained as to why, you will be fine. Just make sure that you follow the proper procedure. Make sure that you use, of course, warm water, washing your hands very thoroughly for about 60 seconds, and you will be fine. Well, guys, that is it for my video. If you want to check out my sources, it'll be down in the description below as per usual. If you have any other evildoers that you think are hiding around the house, and perhaps I can make a video on another time, make sure to leave it in the comment section down below. Otherwise, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell button so you can catch me the week after next. Until then, hear nothing and listen to all. Bye, guys!